Worry and self-doubt, those are the silent killers, the real silent killers, because what they do is they prevent us from reaching our highest potential in life. So if these things are the silent killers, how do we actually confront them and come face to face and overcome them so we can actually progress to that next level of ourselves, to actually reach the highest potential of ourselves, the part of ourselves that exists, but we haven't tapped into, we can't tap into it, we can't quite get there because something's holding us back. So that's what we're gonna get into today, so sit tight. Welcome back to another video. I'm Jen. Self-doubt, worry, fear. These are the things that hold us back from doing so many things in life, myself included. There have been many instances in my life, there's been many instances I'm sure in your life where you have wanted to do something or you didn't even fathom doing something because it was so out of reach for yourself. You feel like you could never get there. You feel like you could never overcome whatever's holding you back. So what exactly is holding you back? So the first thing I want you to focus on is your perspective of a situation. Now this can apply to anything in your life. This can apply to anything you're going through either right now, something you've gone through in the past, or something you're thinking of doing in the future. Okay, whether it's a big life shift or change for yourself, relationship shift, something to do with financial shifting. Number one, perspective. Your perspective on a situation is huge because we oftentimes are in this narrow we pigeonhole ourselves into these narrow kind of views for ourselves. So ask yourself a few questions. The first thing you can do is ask, will what I'm going through right now or what I'm doing or what I'm fearing, what I'm scared to fail at, is it going to matter 5 years from now? Is it going to matter 10 years from now? Am I going to look back and is it going to mean anything? So think of stuff in your life where you, in the moment, say stuff 5, 10, 15 years ago, you remember it, or you might not even remember it, but something you went through, that seemed really big at the time, really huge, really like you were so scared to either leave a job or a relationship, or you were scared of moving on, making some sort of big shift or change in your life. And in the moment, it seemed like it totally overtook your entire being, your whole world. You were filled with fear. You were filled with all these emotions, and you thought you could never do it. You were scared of failing, but you did it anyway, and you succeeded. And now if you look back, it seems very minute. It seems very small to you, but at the moment, it was like this monster of a situation for you. And it was the most important thing in your life. And now that you look back on it, it's nothing. So shift the perspective to whatever you're going through now, 5 years from now, even a year from now. Are you going to even remember it? Or is it going to seem like this little tiny thing, this little obstacle that you overcame? So that's number one. Also, was there a time in your life where you were scared shitless to do something and you did it anyway and you succeeded? Was there a time in your life where you were so scared and you did something and you so-called failed at it? Did it kill you or did it make you stronger? Well, obviously it didn't kill you if you're watching this video, so it probably made you stronger and you probably learned something from it. Another question. Was there a time in your life where you stayed in your comfort zone? Or let me spin that. Has staying in your comfort zone, has it progressed you as a person? Has it strengthened you as a person? Maybe not. Now, has going outside of the comfort zone, think of a time in your past where you went outside, you risked something, you did something that totally felt very uncomfortable. Did you get stronger from it? Did you learn something from it? So these are questions that you can ask yourself and spin. So it's like training a muscle, okay? If I was standing here and I'm doing like 1,000 bicep curls with the air with no resistance, I'm not doing anything for the muscle. Maybe I'm burning like 3 or 4 calories just for moving my arm, but I'm not making anything. I'm not making the muscle grow. See, you have to add resistance, right, to the exercise. Add resistance, whether it's a dumbbell weight or whether it's your body weight. And you have to fatigue the muscle and you have to break it down. And you have to break it down to failure and then let it recover. So the muscle doesn't grow while you're doing this. The muscle grows while you're sleeping or when you're at rest, recovering. So this can apply to anything in your life. If you want to get stronger, you want to grow, you want to evolve as a person, sometimes you need to go to that failure. You need to go to that point where it feels really uncomfortable, where you can't do the last rep. See, the more risks you take, the more you go outside your element, outside your little bubble, the stronger you become, the more functional you become as a person. See, we have this illusion of control in our lives. We think we're in control, but we're not. We are driven by outside sources. We are driven, well, first by limiting beliefs within ourselves, but then we're driven by family, by friends, by society, by government, by media, whatever it is. See, our loss of control is usually based in fear and our need to feel accepted as human beings. So how do you take your control back to reach that highest potential? I'm not saying start a riot. That's not how you take your control back. Contrary to popular belief these days, observation. Observation. So number 1, observing your limiting thoughts and beliefs. Observing what outside sources are trying to sway you, and observing your actions. Okay, so these are 3 steps. If you observe these 3 things in your life, then this is the start, and you'll be able to move on to the next step, to actually progress, to reach that higher version, to get rid of the self-doubt and all the worry and anything that's been holding you back in your life. So after observation, then you can start shifting yourself into that ideal lifestyle, that ideal person that you actually are. We're too scared to bring it out of you. So these 3 steps, RNA, not to be confused with NRA, RNA. Number 1, reprogramming those thoughts and beliefs in your head, and reinserting new thoughts and beliefs. Okay, so the first part is observation of those thoughts and beliefs, because you can't, if you're not aware of what you're thinking and what you're feeling, what those subconscious beliefs, those limiting beliefs are, then you can't reprogram yourself because you don't know what you're reprogramming, right? So you observe, and then the second part is reprogramming. So this is when you start inserting new data into the computer. You start observing those negative thoughts and beliefs and replacing them with more positive ones, or ones that are working more in your favor, bringing you more in alignment to who you truly are, your highest self. Number 2 is neutrality. So you observe those outer sources that are trying to sway you. You're aware of when family or friends or media are trying to suck you in or trying to almost make decisions for you, or you feel pressured to be a certain way, you feel pressured to get a certain job, or you feel pressured to be in a certain relationship because you feel that you have to. You don't have to do anything. You have free will, you have free choice, contrary to popular belief. You don't have to do anything. So neutrality. So when, you're watching the news, or when somebody is trying to sway you to do something that you don't want to do or you don't feel is in alignment with you, to remain neutral to it, to not fight back, to not resist, or to not do the thing that you don't want to do because it's not going to make you happy, it's going to make you very uncomfortable. But remain neutral to it. okay? You observed it and now you're remaining neutral. So you can be in a point of just your awareness and centeredness so you can make decisions for yourself and not based on what other people want you to do. Okay, and the third thing is action. So acting in a way that is alignment to your true authentic self and not those outside sources. All right, so remaining neutral, but then once you're in a place where you are centered and you are aware, then you can take action and move forward in life based on your true self, your authentic self, what you truly want, where you're truly aligned, not by society standards, not by your family standards, not by your friends' standards, not by what the news wants you to think or feel or do or go out and buy, but by your own standards, by your heart, not your ego, because the ego will try to sway you as well, try to get in the way and think it knows best. You know, your conscious mind, your rational mind is always going to try and sway you, but you have to listen to what's really, 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 really inside of you. Okay, and you can't do that, you can't hear that because of all the static usually. So that's where observation and being present comes in, because it removes all of that static. It removes all of that static from your life. So you can see clearly, you can have clarity, you can get the picture of what it is that will truly bring you joy or bring you more in alignment to your highest self, to that greatest potential for yourself. Because we all have it in us. We all have that person within us, and a lot of times we know it deep down, we know it, but we never pursue it because we're held back by outside sources. We're held back by limiting beliefs. We're held back by where we just feel stuck. We feel like we can't go anywhere because we have all this doubt, all this fear, all this worry that doesn't do anything for us. It really does not do anything for us except frustrate us or bring us in a point of just no return where we can't be happy in our lives, because we know it's this mismatch between knowing that we have something greater within us and deeper within us, and that we have the free will to choose to be that person, but we feel like we can't. We feel stuck. We feel frozen in fear a lot of times. So do these steps. Number one, put the perspective on things. Ask yourself some questions about what you're going through right now. Will it matter in the future, or will it seem very small to you? You know, this big thing you're worrying about that overwhelms you right now. Is it really going to be that overwhelming a few months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now? Okay, and then observation is the next thing. Observing your thoughts and feelings, observing who and what and anything that's trying to sway you or suck you in, okay? And then your actions. What are you doing about it? Or are you just stuck? All right, and then moving forward into reprogramming, inserting new data into the computer, okay? New positive thoughts that are more in line with you. And remaining neutral, being stable, being grounded, and then taking action that is aligned with you, your true self. And if you do these things, I promise you, you will be in a place of alignment. You will be in a place of just happiness in your life. You will feel better. You'll have more energy, and you will be on the fast track to your highest potential, who you always wanted to be, or maybe who you never thought you could be. But now you amaze yourself because you are that person. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments what you think. I appreciate it so much. Subscribe. I put out a video every single morning. I appreciate you all. Make sure you hit that little bell so you get a notification when a new video goes up. Other than that, have a great day, and I will see you on tomorrow's video. Okay, peace out.